Good morning, guys. I'm doing this video. The rest of the video I did last week, and this is I just want to keep you guys up to date. I did a video last week, but I really didn't feel like putting it on. The thing is that what happened is I had a scheduled PET scan. Yeah, I have them now annually. People that have pretty much followed my channel know that I had some sort of a, I don't know, cancer thingy going on. Yeah, I'm downplaying it really. But so it was all okay, and then I had six monthly PET scans. Then all of a sudden that went to a year because they didn't find anything, and that was a relief. And I had my annual one, and when I went to get the results, they found something. So thing is, they over here they're pretty fast. So I had the results. The doctor told me that they found something, but she had already set up all these appointments for me. They did an echo, they did a biopsy, and I'm waiting for the results. They're going to come in on Monday. But it's sometimes you just want to paint, and then you don't want to paint, and then you don't feel like doing anything. I'm sure if you've been through something similar, you'll understand what I'm saying. So I thought I'd just keep you guys up to date because, well, you know the whole history anyway. So I thought, let's just keep the people up to date, because sometimes I'll be posting and sometimes I won't be posting. And usually it's because something like that happens. But here we are, and what I'm doing is making the background. Further on in the video, you'll see what I did with it. But I just wanted to show you how easy it is to just make, something pretty, something watery, something flowing into each other, which makes for an interesting background to do things on. All I'm doing is with a big brush, just sort of pushing the paints into each other, the colors, and where it reacts with the other color, it turns a different color. And then some of it will just stay like the original color, like here. I'm gonna tell you that when I see it here on the monitor, it's sort of light, and here it's much more intense. And people that have bought this this watercolor will absolutely know what I mean, because the colors are really intense. And a while back I did those little hearts that I made. And the people that bought those, they'll recognize how vibrant this paint really is. For the people that live in Europe, I sell this. This is what it's called. It's Vallejo liquid watercolor. It's more of a dye, I know. A lot of people have told me, and I'm very well aware. Sort of a liquid dye. But these are really, they hold up really well. And I've done this before, like Ecoline is a sort of a dye also, and I've used those before, but they lose their intensity so fast, and this one doesn't. This one stays vibrant, and I've had some paintings done with this, like for 2 years ago, and they're still the same as when I painted them. So they might hold up, I don't know, 10-20 years, something like that, maybe longer, who knows. But as long as it goes that far, I'm okay with it. Now, I'm not sure if I tilt it a little bit, if you see a little bit more color. Nah, well, maybe a little bit. But it is intense. Now, another thing I use, I'm just cleaning out my brush here. Another thing I use is something like this. This is primary elements, and all I do is put a tiny bit of Arabic gum in there, and then you have your own really beautiful watercolor. Now if I put that up here, I'm going to put it along the side there and letting it sort of absorb into the wet background. But what it does when this dries, it's going to give that really pretty little shimmer. And I showed you that on the at the end of the video. I showed you some of the shimmer. Doesn't pick really up really well on the camera, but be assured that I see it. And I have that in a few colors, and as you can see how metallic-y it is. So I'm going to put some here and some there, just a little bit, just to sort of make it a little bit more special than just the plain old watercolor, because I like it when it shouldn't be too obvious, but when the light catches it, I like it to be just a little bit shimmery. That makes it so much more interesting, don't you think? Yeah, it's glitter or shimmer. But it really looks pretty. It really does. So that's it. Now, so you know that stuff is on my mind this weekend, but that's okay. We'll get through it. We'll see what happens. You know, I'm really pretty much in sort of denial, because I'm thinking it's the flu shot that I had. I had a flu shot just a couple of days before the scan. I shouldn't have done that. That's pretty stupid. But my arm was really warm, so I think that did something to a lymph node, and it's just that lymph node that, you know, sort of came up on the scan. So maybe that's it. Who knows? We'll see. But I'll keep you up to date, absolutely. As soon as I get my results, I'll do a little short video and I'll tell you. Well, if it's good, that is. If it's bad, you'll see me next week. So that's pretty much, you'll know what's happening. Okay, I like this. Now, so all this is, I'll make it a little bit clearer. A lot of people know these. It's primary elements, and you can find them at www.colorart.com. Let me see if well, there is a really small. Not sure if I can zoom it in here. Let me see. There it is. I'll put the link under the video, that's better. So colorart.com, they have a lot of colors, and all you have to do is put a tiny little bit of Arabic gum in there, and I'll show you that stuff too. Now I have Googled this, and you can buy this anywhere. It's a binding medium for mixing with pigment to make watercolor. And if you're into watercolors, you should really be making your own, because this is this stays so, you know, just perfect. This is perfect stuff. Might be expensive, a little jar like this, but this goes a long way. You could make, like, you know, those little watercolor naps you have. I don't know, more than 100 you can make out of this. So it's not that expensive if you know, calculate it that way. So I'm putting the caps back on. I'll stop this video now, guys, and then I'll just let you watch the rest, which I did on a different background. I think it was a little bit lighter, but you get the idea. Okay, love you all to pieces. Enjoy the rest of the video. Hi guys, look what I done. I was gonna do something really cool, and while I was turning on my video, the iPad slipped almost on the table, so I had to make this weird motion, and then all the splatter got on my carefully painted background. Now, what I was up to, now I have to let it leak out again. What I was going to do, and this is just experimental, but what I was going to do is put something like this on. as you can see. And I just wanted to try that out, you know, just to see what would happen. And I kind of like what's happening because it's so, you know, not like you've really tried to make it really nice and neat. I always say organic looking. But as you can see, I messed it up because I let all these drips. I have to fix those drips. There you go. And some more up here. Come down there. And one coming down here. Yeah, well, it's kind of really fun to do. And you get these beautiful, beautiful, really intense black things going on. Okay. Now let's dry it a little bit. Just a little bit. Let me get a hair dryer. Okay, that's it. Still a little bit wet, as you can see, but most of it will work. Now, because what I had in mind, because I'm not going to use this one because all the drips, but you can really take out really beautiful bits. That's a little bit too intense, but this one's nice. That one's pretty. So again, why I'm showing you this, these are a little bit bigger, maybe up here, because I want to show you something that a lot of people, this is a really big one, even that is pretty, only the drips aren't. So see that? That's pretty much intense. Now the paint that I used is the Vallejo fluid watercolor, but also I used the primary elements. You all know that from color art. Primary elements with a little bit of Arabic gum. And I'll show you, I'm not sure if you can pick that up. Yeah, you can. There, you can see here how much that glistens. That is really nice. It has this beautiful sheen. Here you can pick it up, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. See that? How that's really shiny. In real life, it's a little bit better though. But if you go to art fairs, which a lot of you do, a lot of people from my the Facebook group, acrylic and resin stuff, I don't know. You know what I can do? I can put a link under this video to the Facebook group. I'll put one to the English language one and the Dutch one. I'll put that under this video. So if you want to join a group, you can do that. The purpose of a group is only to help people, you know, we encourage each other, we test out new stuff, experiment with new mediums, and then people put their results on the Facebook group. And it's a fully share Facebook group. So if you're doing stuff and you don't want to share, I'd say, you know, make your own group. That's just fair. But we share everything and we put that on there and we answer questions and all that kind of stuff. So I'll put those two links under this video. But why I was doing this is because this is a really quick way to get some extra things to sell with the art fair. Now, even if you were to go to the smaller one, I'll get that again. See, these are mats. You can buy them. I've painted this one a couple of times because it gets all dirty because I use it to show you stuff. But if you were to do this, look at that. That is really nice. And you can even take it a step further if you want to, and I'll show you what I mean. Because I'm trying to come up with stuff that you guys already have. So most of you have the Posca pens, these Posca pens, and sometimes I haven't used them for well over a couple of months. And the good thing about Posca is you just pump pump the little thingy here. You pump it a couple of times and then look at it, it just flows. That is so awesome. And what you could do is just add a little bit more here and there of some artsy things, just to make it look a little bit more interesting. Now, this is really easily done, and you can do this inside, you know, not in a art space, but just, you know, in the living room when you're watching TV or something. All you need is a little place on the table to do this. It doesn't make any mess. And just by adding these, it makes it more artsy. And I don't know, I just thought I'd show you this because it is an easy way to generate some more income from the art things we do. Now, Poscas come in different sizes. So these are the same size. As you can see, it's a 0.7 millimeter. Then you have the really small ones. It's also a 0.7 millimeters, but this one you can do, as you can see, a real fine dot. And then if you use this one, it has the how do you call that, bullet shape. So if you go from let's see where I can show you. I can show you on the back of this. You can do small dots like that, really small dots, but you can also make stripes, and they are a little bit broader than that. See that? So I have a mix of both because I think both have something to them that they add. Let's see. Posca. And of course you have these. The Posca, on this side it has a brush. I'll hold it up here. See that? A brush. And on the other side it has a, let's see, where's that? Whoops. Oh no, that's for filling. I had one where you had both sides. Oh no, that's the alcohol ones. That's right. So you have on both sides. This one you can press down to get the ink to the tip. This one I haven't used for a while, but just pumping a couple of times. Oops, and it'll come to the tip. See, here you go. And then you can really make a really fine line if you want to. There you go. Ooh, gotta join it. Whoops. So this is a really fun one to have. And then, of course, you have the gel pens. These I don't have so much fun with because usually they sort of get clogged. Yeah, this one's already clogged, so I'll have to work on that one. This is a jelly roll pen. Yeah, this one does it a little bit better. But I do know that when you work with pens like this, you have to really, at least once in the 2 weeks, you have to work with them. This is one of my favorite ones. These are gold. But this one is a little cloggy too. That's a Signo broadband. Nice to work with. That's another Signo, but that's a small one. Yeah, this one's not so pretty. I really, of all pens, I love the Poscas the best because they always work. You just pump them a couple of times. And even this one, I haven't used this for like months and months, but it just works. So I'm going to put in some gold here. Well, you get the idea. So there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with this, and just having one of these, you could make like, I don't know, you take out the best bits, but you could make at least 4 or 5. Then put a little mat on them, and then just put the foil around, and they're good to go. And I'm sure you could sell a lot of these on an art fair thing. So that's that. And I was going to do some pouring today. I was going to do the feather pour, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that today, guys, because I got so much going on. I have to wrap up some loose ends, and I'll show you right now. Sorry about that, but I'll cut that out. Now, I'm still working on that round thing. Oh, the lighting is really bad because look outside. It's raining and it's gray. It's kind of ugly, but I'm still working on this. I had to do over the side, and this is the first layer of gold. I have to do another layer, and then I'm going to do the resin layer on top of it next week. Those are the things I made on my lathe, the wood turning thingy. I'm still working on those. Sometimes I think they're too blue, so I add a little bit more brown, but they're not ready yet. And then the big painting, that one, that's really huge, really big. So I am ready with the underpainting. As you can see, there's a lot of underpainting. I kind of like that. That gives a sort of a well, a sort of a feel to it, as you can see. And I have to do another white layer so that I have everything nice and covered, and then I'm going to put the color on top. That's what I'm going to do. And of course I have 6 million finished paintings, which I'm too lazy to make pictures of to put them on a website. Yeah, I know. I got so much stuff going on. And then I'll show you the setup, because a lot of people ask about the setup. So those are studio lights. They're shining on the table. I have a monitor in front of me that I can see what I'm doing. My husband made that wooden thingy. And then you see the ledge on top. That's where I put my iPad on. A lot of people ask about that. Then that's my own stash. Yes. Still accumulating a lot of stuff. I can't help it. Oh yeah, and a couple of people asked about the how I make my pictures. So if you can see this here, this is a camera, and it's hanging on this thingy that you put on your tripod, but it extends it a little bit so that you can make pictures. Then I have these big daylight lamps, which I put on both sides of what I want to photograph, and that's how I do it. And I use a Pentax, because I think Pentax are the best cameras ever. That's just me, guys. Most people think Nikon or Canon or whatever, but I just like my Pentax. So that's about it.